Hello and welcome to today's episode. We are, as you can see, outside because the weather's so nice. It's an absolute logistical nightmare, but hey ho, it's all good fun. We've only got 2 cameras because, like I just said, logistical nightmare. What are we talking about today?
That all felt a lot. Oh, yeah.
This is staying in. We're talking about periods today.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm just going to ask you questions, really, and then I want to see what your answers are.
Wonderful. Hot seat
Yeah, a little bit.
in more ways than one because this
Yeah, you've got the sun. I've lost it.
beating. It's quite warm, and I've got a fleece on.
Yeah, weird choice of clothing.
Yeah.
So there are 4 phases to the menstrual cycle.
There are indeed.
Yeah. And there is a little bit of research about it, not masses, but there is some that says training isn't actually really affected that much. How would you say your training is?
Oh, I would completely disagree. I'm very passionate about this, of how a period can massively affect training.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'm coming on my period, like due on my period, or on my period, my strength is a fraction of what it is.
It's interesting you say strength because that's, I think, what the research has been focused on, because obviously it's going to affect you mentally
Oh,
in
God,
some
yeah.
ways. Your hormones are a bit all over the shop,
Mm-hmm.
and it's obviously going to affect you in how you feel yourself.
Oh,
But
definitely.
you actually think there's a big drop in strength.
Massively. I mean, as somebody, so obviously I only do strength training. So it could be that for somebody who does a lot of cardio or other types of training, it will affect that as well. But I can only talk from a strength perspective because that's what I do. So I see a difference in my strength when I'm on my period, of the weights that I can lift prior when I'm not in kind of that menstrual phase. Much better in my eyes, much better. If I can lift more heavier weights, feel better, feel stronger than when I'm on my period.
Do you think that's something happening that you feel crap, so you are lifting less, or do you feel that you just don't feel as strong?
Definitely just don't feel as strong.
Okay.
So I can go into a workout, whether I'm on my period or not, and I will go into my workout being like, right, let's do this, get this workout, smash it out, have a look what I've done last time, go for that. And even just a simple thing of, I could go for a dumbbell, of go for the one that I did last time and smashed out a good 6 to 8 reps on, and I can barely even lift it off the rack. And it's like, what? When did this gain like an extra 25 kilograms to what it was 2 minutes ago? Like, it definitely makes a difference.
You suffer quite badly with your period.
Yes, horrendously.
I know this from obviously being with you for many years now.
Yeah, living together.
Yeah, you have. Let's talk a little bit about what you've tried in terms of contraceptive pills and other things.
Yeah, so from the start of me having periods in kind of teenage years, I started on different pills to try and, because I've always had irregular periods, always really struggled, where I'd be on for 2-3 weeks at a time, off for a week, straight back on again, 2-3 weeks going again. It's safe to say I was pretty anemic, losing that much blood at a time. But yeah, tried different pills. They'd work for so long, they'd start either regulating them or stop my period, depending on what I was on. And then out of the blue, they'd just stop working again. Being on combined pill, all the different ones you can think of, had to come off that because it started me having severe migraines, where I was having kind of like all the symptoms of stroke. So I'd get the numbness, vision loss, couldn't speak because my mouth was numb, nausea, vomiting, banging head, light sensitivity, everything. So came off that because we thought it was the pill. Obviously, as we have discovered later down the line, clearly I now just suffer with migraines, touch wood. Not had any for a while, but they suck. I've had implant. Again, that worked. Like the first one I had in worked great. Had the second one, had that one taken out, had the second one put in. Worked for about 6 to 9 months, stopped working, came off that. Had the injection, had the coil, you name it. I've probably tried it. And yeah, it didn't seem to suit my body. I was moody, depressed. I mean, I suffer obviously with anxiety anyway, and the being ploughed with hormones clearly wasn't doing my body any good. So we decided, what, about 2.5 years ago now, 2.5 years ago, that I would come off contraceptive, give my body a bit of a break, see if my periods had regulated at all. If they had, great. Kind of let's give my body a break from constantly having hormones ploughed into it. If not, figure out next steps and just go from there. But then in the midst of that, I got my periods pretty regular now, thankfully. But the amount of pain I am in on a monthly basis of, like I say, obviously, I can lift weight. I've got a fairly high pain tolerance of that I can deal with, but come the start of my period, definitely day and sometimes day 1 and day 2, it knocks the life out of me. I'm doubled over, can barely move because I'm in that much pain. Like walking hurts, crying half the time because the amount of pain I'm in. Went to the doctors. They suggested coil to see if that would help. Some people it stops the periods, therefore stops the pain, or you can still have a period but helps reduce pain. Yeah, none of that.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Didn't get none of that, no. Made my periods longer, made them more painful, made the pain last for longer. It just wasn't the one. So yeah, came off that. Thankfully, pretty much straight away from me coming off it, did my periods kind of go back to the same 3-4 days length, with pain only on like the first couple of days. Yeah, it sucks. And then also getting pain, similar pain, not quite as bad, but similar pain around ovulation-y time. And then get the pain, not quite as bad, but around whenever I potentially am ovulating. So yeah, it sucks. And just don't know what's causing it.
You've looked into a few things, haven't you?
Yeah, I looked into endometriosis as to whether that could be the cause, because I have spoken to a few people who have been diagnosed with endometriosis, and they have said that it does sound very similar. But the sad part is of how medicine has not progressed at all in over 20 years or so, I think it is, of endometriosis. The only way to medically get diagnosed is through surgery. And the average is, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe is about 8 years to get diagnosed with endometriosis.
Yeah, there's very few specialists
Yep.
in the area, and it's only something that's really gained any kind of traction, in the last decade?
Even longer than that.
Really?
I believe I saw a study not that long ago, and it was something like they had done a research, they'd researched some endometriosis and like diagnoses and like where like medical advancements are at. And I believe it was about 1993 they did it. And then they did another study in about 2015, I want to say it was. And there was next to no change in advancements in like the knowledge around endometriosis.
In what's in the NHS or
Yes.
right, okay, right. So the NHS is obviously quite far behind on it, and obviously women's health has very much backbenched a lot of the time. I think only recent progression in society has maybe changed that to an extent. I'm not even sure for instance, we'd have any kind of an audience interested in this like 20 years ago, because you just wouldn't be talking about female health, really.
Yeah.
I don't think.
And I think that is like quite a...
It's a taboo almost.
Yeah, and I think for a lot of people it still is. Like there is definitely kind of an age divide between those, both men and women, more so in men of being like, oh no, I don't want to know, I don't want to talk about it, but still in women as well of it's just not something you discuss. I think within women it is becoming more open through more age groups of are willing to talk about it and kind of building that community who are willing and kind of sharing stories and helping each other. But I think it is definitely still lacking in like men of being, and it's understandable. It's not something that men go through, or
If it's something that doesn't directly affect you, it's quite hard to care about something, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. But I think for a lot of men, it's not just, although that they don't experience it, it's being able to support wives, girlfriends, sisters, mums, anybody, any female friends in their life that struggle, or even not even struggle, just who are going through it because they're female and it happens and it is just part of life. It is important to understand and for women to know that they can talk to men about what they're going through.
Yeah. Do you think there's enough? I mean, you've never really worked in an office environment or anything like that, have you? So it's probably hard to say whether you're given any grace.
No.
Kind of.
Like I said, I'm not talking for all people. I'm just from my personal experience of, like, I've worked in hospitality my entire life, other than now where I'm in fitness industry. And I think especially in the fitness industry, I mean, we were on about it at the gym the other day, and there was one of the other male PTs kind of not involved in a conversation, but he was there, and I felt a bit guilty because I kind of forgot that it was there and was like, oh, I don't want to have made him feel uncomfortable. But then he started talking about his girlfriend, and I was like, cool, like it's another guy who doesn't feel uncomfortable when a bunch of women are talking about that, and he is happy to kind of join in the conversation.
I think there's probably a difference in approach in schools now, perhaps, around sort of sex ed and things like that, and how it's discussed. And obviously, social media has dramatically changed the world anyway. So people are flooded with information, and in a sense, you grow up a lot quicker these days. And that probably changes how much people like to or are willing to talk about it. I think it probably depends how you've been brought up.
Yeah.
A little bit. How willing your parents are to talk about it, or whether it's no, we don't talk about that kind of thing. So yeah, it's probably your upbringing and now I'd say kids to some extent, as much as their parents might want to bring them up in the way they want to, they're flooded with so much information externally from this device, iPads, so on and so forth. So where it's just, you've got to hope, I guess, their information comes from the right place, because otherwise they're going to be very confused individuals. Definitely. So on the fact that you have pretty horrible periods, and I'm sure there's many other women that suffer quite a lot with heavy periods. I got you period pants, 4 years ago, I think, and you were very...
It's been a while.
At first, you were very unsure of the whole idea.
Oh, 100%. Like for me anyway, it was I couldn't quite get my head around how I could just wear a pair of pants that would hold my period, but then I washed them afterwards and they're reusable. It just couldn't, there was that disconnect of like, this isn't normal. This is weird.
Do you feel comfortable wearing them now? Because that's all you really wear, isn't it?
Oh yeah, they were life-changing. I absolutely love them. Like the fact of not having to worry about a pad, not having to worry about tampons. My periods are heavy, so not having to worry about if I'm in the gym or if I'm at work or wherever I am, being like, oh God, do I need to change? Am I going to flood? Or can literally just put a pair of pants on and go, I'm good for the day. Because they do have different absorbencies, a bit like pads. If you can have light, medium, heavy, ultra, like it's just like having a pad, but without that worry of being like, oh, is this going to be enough? I mean, on our wedding day, I wasn't due on. It was nowhere around my period. But because I was wearing a white dress and I was aware that my periods can be slightly funky, I wore a pair of period pants. And it was great because then didn't have to worry about anything. And even though I knew that it wasn't going to be an issue, it was just that confirmation of me just being comfortable. And it was great. And I love them so much. Yeah, the only thing that I've not quite 100% got on board with yet, but mainly I think it's still in that kind of downside of, or that kind of thing of it's a bit unusual to me, is the period pants swimwear. I still can't quite get my head around how it's not going to leak. But like we do have friends who also wear them and they've been on holiday, wear period pants, and I've been around them when they've been on periods and they're wearing like period pants swimwear and they do work. I'm just still slightly scared of I know my look and know my look that one time that I wear them, would they fail me? But I do have some and I have worn them and I do still, although I'm still nervous when wearing them, it's just like that getting used to it again of, it's the same feeling as when I first started wearing period pants of, are these actually going to work? But yeah, I love them. They're great.
Obviously, you generally wear quite tight. Probably can't see the leggings you have on, but you generally wear quite tight leggings, like most girls do to the gym. Pants okay with the...
Yeah, I mean, I buy like seamless ones, so you can't really see them anyway. Don't get me wrong, when you first do start wearing them, you do slightly feel like you're wearing a nappy, just because it is that whole feeling of a bit like when you've got pants on and you've got a pad that's a little bit thick and it's getting used to it.
Yeah.
But again, like a lot of good period pant companies now that I have used, they do like thong versions if you feel more comfortable wearing them. They do full pants. Like there's so many different options that are out there. And yeah, I've never had any issues. I mean, I'm making out like I've got some on now, but I haven't. Have just finished using them though. Yeah, there's so many different options of what you can wear.
Which have been the best ones? Because we might as well. I know Primark do a range that I don't think you've ever tried. Have you?
No, I've not tried the Primark.
Modi Body or Modi Body, however you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Wooker, Cheeky Wipes.
Don't think I've tried those ones. But I think Amazon, because you bought me those shorts ones that are like kind of my nice comfort bedtime ones.
Yeah, there is a company on there. Didn't I get you the swimwear from there as well?
So I don't know where they were from.
Can't remember. But yeah, there's options, aren't there?
Yeah.
And they're not stupid price.
No, and a lot of them tend to do discounts throughout the year as well.
If you consider how much you'd spend on pads and things anyway.
I mean, I think I've had mine, I mean, obviously, again, as you do any underwear, you do still have to replace them after so long. It's not like a...
What?
You can
You have to do what?
So women replace them, as I've seen with a lot of your underwear over the years, where you end up with holes in them because you don't, because you find a comfy pair.
I was joking then. Like, I do not have holy underwear. What?
Used to. I don't anymore.
My underwear's lovely. I don't, I'm not being trash talked like this. This isn't acceptable. I do not have holy underwear. I have great underwear. If, we are talking about periods and stuff, but if we're going to be talking about underwear, I generally wear some M&S ones that have a longer length and they're way more comfortable for training in.
Good to know. Might as well have something for the men in there as well.
I just thought I'd chuck something in, yeah.
Put your little 2 pence in of what you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying, you do obviously have to replace them after a while. But I think the longest running pair I currently have for about a year and a half ago, maybe.
Okay.
So if you think of every month how many pads or tampons or whatever you go through, and these pants that I have are still going strong.
No, like
They're great.
probably 20 quid or something.
Yeah, it's the amount that you'd be saving, and it's that mentality of comfort as well that you're not stressing.
Yeah.
To me, they're worth every penny, and I'm never going to go back. Like, I'm only ever going to wear period pants now. They're amazing.
Good.
Yeah.
I like it when I buy something that works out.
Yeah.
It's successful.
It's great.
So going back to the sort of more fitness element of that time of the month, and we were obviously talking about how it affects your strength.
Yep.
And things like that. How does it affect your motivation to go to the gym? Can you be asked to go to the gym, or do you have to drag yourself to the gym?
So, especially during those first couple of days, it is next to impossible just because of the amount of pain I'm in. I do still try and push myself to go if it's what I class like a training day. When if I look at my week and go, right, I want to work out 4 times this week. Can't do that day, but these are the 4 days that I can do. If it does fall on one of those 4 days, I will try and go to the gym. Obviously, it's not always doable because I get to the point where I'm in that much pain where even just standing up is excruciating. But I do give myself graces of, yeah, I'm still wanting to work out. Yes, it's a training day, but it's just not going to happen. Like, I still have to kind of focus on my own mental health in the same sense of not accepting it, of being like, oh, I've not gone to the gym. It's just because of my period. I've failed. Like, it's a woman's monthly period is not just a physical thing that happens.
Yeah.
It's the hormone changes, the emotional changes, the mentality changes. Like, it is so physically, mentally, and emotionally taxing on your body.
I think that's really important what you said about sort of giving yourself a little bit of grace, because you're training consistently anyway.
Yeah.
And a few days here and there out of a training routine, unless you're a top level athlete where you've got a specific event coming up or something like that, it really doesn't matter. Like, even just missing a couple of days, it doesn't matter. And I think maybe people need to sometimes think about that and accept that there are times that it's not going to work out, and just as long as you're feeling mentally okay about things and everything else, and you can sort of accept that, it's going to be a lot better for you to maybe not go than go and what mope about.
Yeah, which I have been there as well, of forced myself to go to the gym, of being like, no, it's a training day, I'm going to go. We've gone together. And then I've just kind of sat there being like, well, why am I here? Why did I come? I'm hating everything. I hate myself. I blame you of that you're the one that's dragged me, even though you definitely haven't. It's been like me. No, I'm going. I'm going to force myself. But then I'm like, yep, no, it's your fault. Why did you make me come? I don't want to be here. I'm in pain. Like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, your period is, for those, at least for me, and those who it is regular, it's what, a week out of the, give yourself a bit of grace. If you've still got the desire and the determination to work out the rest of the month, then good, that's where you're going to put your effort. But accept that during that week or however long it is, your strength, your motivation, your emotions, everything will likely diminish and lessen.
Suppose it doesn't, what you're saying is kind of your experience anyway. It doesn't obviously apply to everyone.
No,
Some
absolutely
people
not.
aren't affected as much.
No.
And can probably just battle through quite comfortably, I guess.
But it's still, even those who can battle through and are still, like, probably don't have pain during the period and things like that, it is very, very likely that you will still have other physical changes that is more noticeable, like the strength loss. It's not that you've lost strength, it's just that because your body is going through such a taxing time, like it's not very, very natural to not be able to do as much as what you can around that time.
Let's talk about bloating.
No other choice. Oh, I love a bit of bloat.
So, obviously, you tend to bloat quite a bit.
A lot, quite aggressively.
And how's that affect you mentally? Do you look in the mirror and go, or do you look in the mirror and you've learnt to know that it's okay, you're on your period?
A bit of both. So, for a very, very, very long time, I'd look in the mirror and, to an extent, be quite disgusted by what I saw, of being bloated and feeling. And there's still times now where I'll look in the mirror and feel disgusting when I see my bloat. But at the same time, I've come to a point and realization that it's just because I'm on my period. And the times where I still look in the mirror and feel disgusted by the bloat is just because of those hormone changes of me. I know that it's normal and I know that it's not gonna last forever. It's just because I'm on my period, because I'm feeling miserable, because my hormones are all over the place. Sometimes you can't force yourself out of that mindset.
Yeah.
And again, okay, because it's not going to last forever. It's just for a very short period of time.
Short period of time.
Yeah, within the month. And you will get back to pre-period self in a matter of days.
Kind of leads me on to talking about nutrition a little bit. Your diet plan, you don't have a diet plan as such, but you do stick to a macro target loosely, I'd say. You're not like religiously stuck to it, but
no, I try and kind of stick to it as much as I can. Like I try not and go over too much. Like there might be one day a week.
Yeah. So where I was going with this is that goes out the window when you're on your period, doesn't it?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, like I think we can
Get me the chocolate.
accept. Yeah, we can both accept that I would be a much more horrendous person if I tried to stick to those macros when I'm on my period. I think if we tried to force me, I don't think we would be in a very happy marriage. I think we would probably have to build an additional building at the bottom of the garden and one of us move into there during that part of the month if I did.
I think this can go into sort of a wider category as well. The fact that you've got abs, you're athletic, very athletic looking, and you do have a good 3 or 4 days where you don't eat whole foods, clean foods, etc., etc. So if you do stay relatively consistent most of the time, there are windows where you can eat stuff and it's not gonna make a massive difference. It's the overall picture, isn't it?
It's about balance. You can have those foods that aren't the greatest for you, but as long as you still balance it with those that are. I say sugary drinks, but by that I mean like iced coffees, iced tea, things like that. I don't particularly drink like fizzy drink. Well, rarely I drink fizzy drinks. I'll occasionally have like apple juice, orange juice, things like that. And yeah, like we'll occasionally have a Chinese. But again, when we order a Chinese, we don't particularly like the taste of that kind of food anyway, of greasy, fatty food. But we tend to go for stuff that we enjoy, but that's still got your protein and your carbs and your healthy fats, and like we make the right choices and having that balance.
Yeah, I think it's, if you've got a pretty consistent diet. We cook all our own food.
Yeah.
Like you say, we get something from Chinese at most once a month, don't we?
Yeah.
I guess. But yeah, it is. You have chocolate on your period. You have what? What are your other comfort?
Roses.
Not exactly deeply unhealthy, are they?
No, but they're not exactly the healthiest either. And what else? Why can I now?
Pizza. Oh yeah.
I do love pizza.
Yeah.
Especially since I'm not meant to have dairy.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I'm lactose
intolerant. So that's always a top choice for you.
Yeah, it's great. So on top of that period bloat, also having the dairy bloat, that is good. Occasionally ice cream, but not a lot because I prefer savoury to sweet.
But overall, like
Yeah.
what we're saying is, you can have a few meals here and there,
Yeah.
and a few things, even a day or two, where it's really not going to have a massive impact. It's what you do outside of that. Yes, you love
That is
potatoes.
my massive thing. I love potatoes at the best of times, but on the period, that is all I want to eat. Potato in any physical form possible. I just love potatoes.
Yeah, your love of potatoes is well known.
Yeah, my carb consumption is a problem.
Yeah. So wrapping up.
Take these off for a bit now.
Yeah, we have lost
like
we have lost the sunshine a little. Yeah, let's wrap up a bit. In summary, give yourself grace. You have a little bit of chocolate. It's really not the end of the world, as long as you're generally keeping your diet quite clean and you're eating whole foods, you're cooking for yourself. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. And although it's going out on, oh, it is going out on your birthday.
It is, yeah.
It is. So, although we're recording this not on Emma's birthday, it's a few days before. Happy birthday, babe. Love you.
Love you both.
And I hope you've learned something, or at least got something out of it with regards to period pants or contraceptives and things like that. If you've got any questions, we'll try our best to answer them. And if there's any topics you want us to dig into a little bit further than what we have done and what we've covered, just let us know. Thanks again for watching or listening. See you guys later. I've been Adrian.
And I'm Emma.